Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the stream. Happy to have you here. Hope you're all doing well. I'm really excited to be here and streaming with you guys tonight on a special edition of Talkin' Trains. It basically just turns out that my brother's birthday is on Monday, and we're having family dinner on Monday. So if I was gonna get a stream in, it was gonna be probably today or nothing. So glad to be here. Let me just make sure my internet connection is okay. I keep seeing that it's showing I'm dropping frames. That would be why. Hopefully this goes okay. Okay. Hopefully this is going to be better. All right. Well, welcome in everybody. Josh, pleasure to meet you in person today, sir, for the first time. And welcome to the NMRA. Josh stopped by the NMRA booth, and I started the spiel on him, and then Mr. Ed O'Connell came in and sealed the deal and got him to join, which was pretty cool. But today was the RIT train show at Rochester Institute of Technology, and was there working the NMRA booth and also, taking a look around. Had a good time. Met Josh for the first time. Met a couple of other people as well that said they had, heard of the channel and everything, which was pretty neat. Picked up a few things. I really didn't actually spend a ton of money. And actually, I just remembered I gotta go grab something else. Hang on one second. You guys can still hear me, just not at the bench. New bench is working out well so far. Last night, actually, the bench was used for its very first project, which was not model railroad related at all. My wife made some paw print ornaments that she came down here and painted at the workbench. So the workbench has been broken in, but not for model railroading purposes, of course. I just realized I think I've got this mirrored. Let me see if I can fix that real quick, because it's gonna bug me more than anything else, honestly. All right, yeah, now my right hand is actually my right hand on stream. There we go. Okay, yeah, so new streaming setup. So far, seems to be working well. Set it up about 5 o'clock this evening. Just wanted to make sure I had plenty of time to test everything. Everything seems to go fairly well. I'm a little bit further away from my Wi-Fi router than I would normally be. So I'm keeping an eye on the quality of the stream. You guys will have to let me know if you guys end up having any issues. But the ornaments are really cute, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you guys will have to let me know if you end up seeing any issues. I'm hoping we don't have any issues, but it had occurred to me that that was a risk I was taking, moving the workbench over here. So we'll see what happens. I'm thinking we're okay. The stream quality seems to be all right, but yeah. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to go through a few of the things I got at the show. I had some people that were incredibly generous to me that I want to make sure that I thank. One of the people who came up to me at the booth, he said he was a subscriber of the channel. His name, I believe, was he said. And Erm stopped by the booth, said he enjoyed the channel, and then said that he'd been working on some electrical projects at home and had a little bit of this jacketing left. And said he figured it would work really well for culverts and handed it off to me. So I just wanted to say thank you to him and appreciate that. I had a couple other people just give me things. I don't know why people give me things at shows now. It's not something that I'm asking to be done, to be clear, and nobody needs to. But I did have a couple other people that were incredibly kind to me as well. My friend Mike has a calendar that he made as well, and he gave me a copy of that. Mike has a YouTube channel where he posts some of his rail fanning content. His channel is Clear333 Track 1 West. If you want to check it out, he's got some really cool videos on the Southern Tier Line, CSX, Finger Lakes, and he even gets down to the Virginia, West Virginia area from time to time, as you can see from the cover of his calendar here that's got 611 on it. Pretty cool. You know, he's got some local flavors in here. There's one of Rochester for February. That's actually pretty cool. That's wow. I thumbed through these myself and you know, just perused just to see. 287. Oh man, I wish the tier still had a dedicated auto rack train. And here's your Western Maryland stuff, which is pretty cool. Leaser on looks like the sand patch there. Oh, paraleasers on a CSX freight in Macedon. Looks like shot from Texas there for August. Moss Run, Virginia, with it looks like the seaboard, the coastline, Atlantic coastline heritage unit there, second out. Gorgeous. 611 in there for October. There's NSH16, one of the other locals that goes out of Gang Mills. There's an Amtrak Charger in the oh, what do they call that scheme for Amtrak? The original scheme, basically. Yeah, pretty cool. So I just wanted to say thank you to Mike as well. Really cool calendar. I got a spot for it right next to the workbench, so it'll be up there. And then my friend Scott Baruti also gave me this incredible gift. I couldn't be more grateful for all of these people. But this is a special run of covered hoppers that he did a couple of years ago for Burkett Mills, which is of course one of the industries I've got in Penn Yan. They don't in real life have their own covered hopper fleet, but Scott did up a couple of them with a friend of his, and he showed up at the show today and just gave me this, which I was incredibly grateful for. It's pretty cool. I mean, I would consider this more a freelance car than a prototype car, but it's still nonetheless something really cool to have. At bare minimum, it's gonna, you know, be a really cool display piece, if not actually turning wheels on the layout and everything. So really excited to have that, and incredibly grateful to everybody that decided to just give me things, which I don't know what I do to deserve that, but I appreciate it nonetheless. But I did buy a couple things at the show too, so I was hoping to kind of go through those with you guys. If you saw my Facebook post, you saw that we're officially going to unveil the next locomotive that the freelance has purchased, quote unquote. But I got a couple other things too that I'll quickly run through with you guys. First was this building. This is very similar to a building I already have, but it's got one small difference that makes it more appealing to me. And so the building itself is going to be used for the courthouse in Canandaigua. The one I had previously had a steeple already pre-installed on it. This one does not. The prototype does not have a steeple. So I'm thinking, because this one is not really all that well put together, and to be clear, I paid $1 for it, so I didn't really expect it to be. It's put together with just hot glue. So I'm thinking what I might do is just try to remove this piece and put it on the other building that I have, and then it just needs to be painted, and then it'll, the courthouse is kind of like this really nice maroon color, or not maroon, excuse me, like harvest gold color. So I'll have to get that all started here, but picked it up for $1. I figured, yep, that's you know, pretty reasonable price, so it'll come home with me. The next thing I got is something I'm actually more excited about than I am the new locomotive, because these things are starting to become like gold. And I've talked about it in the past about having a tough time finding them, but I got an entire big bag of Super Trees. It's been open, but it's, you know, mostly still in here. And I got this for $5. I went up to a guy's table, you know, walking around the show before it technically started, because I was in there for the NMRA. He had this on his table, and I was like, yep, that's going to need to come home with me, because there's no way I'm letting it sit on his table till the door is open. $5 for this whole big bag, which has also spurred me to have another possible project on the bench tonight, which is my wire form trees, that now I have enough Scenic Express Super Tree material to progress with that project a little bit further. I was a little short on Super Tree material in order to do that. But anyway, without further ado, I'll show you what the brand new locomotive is for the freelance. And I just realized it was kind of sitting there on camera to begin with. But this is an Walther's, or excuse me, a Proto 2000 SW8. And let me get you zoomed in a little bit. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Yeah, so this is Proto 2000 SW8 in the demonstrator scheme, but it's not going to stay in the demonstrator scheme. I didn't bring much cash with me to this show. I got $40 out of the ATM, sold the car for $20, so I had $60 walking around money. Paid $5 for the Super Trees, and then I saw this, and I went to the guy. I was like, "Hey, would you take 55 instead of 60? Because that's all I got on me." And he said, "Yeah, I guess." So here it is. This is the plan for this unit is going to be that this is the this is going to kind of be the local switcher for the Batavia area. I've become fascinated with these SW end cabs. I don't know why, but oh, hopefully you didn't lose me. Let me know if you did. Oh, jeez. Still showing that I'm streaming on my end, but yeah. So I've become pretty fascinated with these older end cabs, and really inspired specifically by watching some videos of the pups that are still on the Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna, you know, kind of take some inspiration from them and get my own pup. So this will be, as far as my lineage is concerned, an ex-Lehigh Valley, ex-Conrail locomotive that we'll have purchased. And it'll, of course, get stripped down and painted into the Genesee, Wyoming transportation scheme as well. So yeah, really excited to have this, really excited for the project, and looking forward to progressing not just with that, but the rest of these freelance projects in general. You can see we've got 4 different freelance locomotives. Oh, I gotta change my camera angle back here, hang on. So we've got 4 different freelance locomotive projects on the workbench right now. And 2 of them are the 40-2s. We've got the undecked GP9 as well. And then now, of course, the SW8, which I'm looking forward to building. So I think the plan's probably going to be kind of just get them all ready for primer at the same point and just kind of take them through at least the painting process all at the same time. And then from there, they might start to progress at different paces. I wanted to get them all through paint for the most part at the same time, just so that they're done. It's easier to batch those things out, but yeah. But anyway, let me say hi to everybody out there in the chat, and then we'll get a little bit of work done tonight. But let me see. So we had Adam here first. We have BM Coleman here. Welcome in. We've got John's here. Scott's here. We've got Mitch here. Josh is here. Denny's here. Let's see. Britt was here. Fostoria Model Railroad Club's here. Welcome. Ted's here. Ted, are you streaming tonight? You got your 10 o'clock time slot set up, or are you not going tonight? Rick's here, welcome in. Tom's here, welcome in. Chris is here, welcome in. I think that's everybody. Cool. Yeah, Ted, let me know if you're streaming tonight, and we'll hopefully we can coordinate so that I'm sending people your way when I'm done. If not, you know, at least letting them know that you're streaming so that they can go over there. But, okay, so things that I want to do tonight. We've got a few of them here. One of them I can't work on because it's top secret, and the person that I'm working on it for has already made themselves known in the chat. Evening, Montana Northern. Welcome in. So we'll likely skip out on that one, but I've got a couple other things to work on. I do want to get more of the etch metal walkway on this SD40-2 so that we can keep progressing further with that. And then I also have, as I mentioned, my trees over here, my wireform trees. So I want to do a little bit of work on those as well. I just realized I had glue overflow on this. I have to see how the Goo Gone works on that. But yeah, we're going to first, I think, get this all progressing a little further. The freelance SD40-2, putting the etch metal walkways on. I do also want to just get this thing, the shell off of it, and get it prepped to go into an isopropyl bath so that it can kind of progress to the state that these are in, which is all 3 of these are all completely stripped. The sill is molded black plastic, but yeah. Oh, Ted, I didn't know. I forgot that you... Dude, I'm so sorry, Ted. I forgot you switched to 8 o'clock. Or maybe I thought it was just a one-night thing. I apologize. Well, if you're still going when I'm done, I'll make sure people go over there, and then if I'm doing this on a Saturday again, I'll make sure that we coordinate a little bit better. Didn't mean to step on your turf here, man. But hey, Garrett, you made it. You said you weren't gonna. I'm glad you did, though. All right. Let me get you guys zoomed in a little bit here. So this is we're officially. Ted, don't worry about me. If you want to go at 8 o'clock, go at 8 o'clock, and people, you know, if people are watching me that want to go watch Ted Weather, feel free. I'm not going to take it personally. Yeah, don't worry about me. Holy cow, 1,700 in a single day. That's awesome, Garrett. You know, it's crazy. It didn't feel like that because it was such a like steady, even flow of people. But that's good. I'm really glad. Congratulations on the gangbusters numbers. I hope you know, a big turnout for that show. Maybe that's gonna say something to the administration that you guys have got big community support that aren't just signing your petition but are there to support you at your show. So hopefully that says something big. Yeah, so let's get a couple of etch metal parts on first, and then we'll get a couple other things underway. Yeah, but it was a great show today. Finally met Josh for the first time, which was really cool. Met some other really awesome people. Like I said, gave me those conduits to use as pipes, which was pretty neat. I really appreciated that. And it was really rewarding that Josh, you know, without even, you know, I was trying to do the no pressure recruit with him to the NMRA, and then in behind me came Mr. Ed O'Connell and sealed the deal and got Josh to sign up right there on the spot. So the Lakeshores has officially got a brand new member, which I'm excited to have another fellow young person within my own division now. I told Josh I'm trying to play it as cool as I can, but I'm super excited about it. Let me get you guys zoomed in a little bit here. I thought I did that already, but the camera is a little bit higher up than it usually is, but now I've got it already in a fixed position and I don't want to mess with it. Actually, we could, you know what? This is our first night on a new streaming setup. Let's play with the physical zoom rather than the optical zoom. See if we can make things any better. Oh yeah, this is high quality stream content. I really should be doing this right now. Gonna make you guys seasick. That's not bad. Whoa. Apologies, I would have done this prior to the stream had I realized it was as zoomed out as it was. All right, there we go. Garrett, I won't be at the show. Pearson, I don't know if you are technically still the youngest member. I don't know what your age technically is, and I don't know what Josh's age technically is either. I think Josh is slightly younger than me, but I'm not sure. So, welcome into the stream, by the way, Pearson. Happy to have you. Okay, yeah, let's work on some projects here. I think I still gotta do the regular zoom here as well. Just a little bit. Sorry, Sean. Yeah, Garrett won't be at the show tomorrow, unfortunately, just today. Oh yeah, Pearson, you're definitely the youngest member still. We did have a gentleman that Ned knows that's a senior in high school that's starting to get involved with the NMRA but has not joined yet. He's, you know, just kind of taking his time getting. You can go to technically 3 events before you got to join up and everything, which is honestly I wish that it was more lax than that, just because I would rather young people just have the chance to be a part of the division, not have to worry about having division membership, and just have a good time. And then once they have a full-time job and have money to be paying for a membership, and are ready to do so, go ahead and do that. But unfortunately, there's insurance requirements and stuff with the NMRA, so not so lucky there. Okay, I'm making my first trip over to the old workbench to get stuff because I am not fully moved over yet. But actually, I think the thing I was looking for is still, I think I should be, yeah, it is actually already over here. Yeah, I'm definitely happy to let you pick my brain. So are you thinking, Garrett, about using etched metal grills for the new GP38s? I did get to be a really great poor influence on Garrett a little bit today. Found him some undecorated GP38s. He's kind of modeling the era of Finger Lakes where they had those. So he's going to custom paint at least 2 of them to start. More than likely all of them eventually. So that's pretty cool. All right, let me make sure I get this lined up square. Oh boy. I might have used too much glue here. I definitely used too much glue here. Great. Yeah, other big news though, if any of you saw it, the registration for the Rock RPM is now officially open. So anybody can sign up and register. I did mention as well in a short that I put out, but my layout will be operating as a part of the event. So if anybody out there is not local and hasn't had the chance to operate here yet, you are more than welcome to sign up to operate my layout during the event. But just know that it is just a single session, and that means that there's only going to be a total of 10 people that get the chance to operate, and anybody who's interested should definitely register as quickly as they can to ensure that they get one of the open slots. I'm not getting a very good alignment on this, which is a bit of a bummer. I think I should be using a different glue, honestly. I'm not super impressed with how well super glue's been working on this sort of thing for me. If anybody has glue suggestions, my default is always to go to super glue, but I know it's not the right glue for every job. So if somebody's got other suggestions, feel free to throw them out. Okay, there we go. That's closer to where I want it to be. Let's see if I can just hold that steady there. Get this on. So you can see we are in the home stretch with the walkways on the second SD40 shell, which means we'll be ready to put it in the paint booth here soon, which will be exciting. My goal is to have the SD40-2s done before the RPM, so. (2018-ish), that's cool. There was some overlap between the GP38s, or the GP38-2s, technically they all are Spec 2, but 2 of them were built as 38s and 1 was built as a 40. There was overlap between a few of those and the SD38s, so it's possible to model them all. Those SD38s were funky though, because they're SD40-2s that were rebuilt to SD38 spec. So, yeah. Okay, so we've got that gluing up. Next thing I want to do is actually get this SW8 stripped down so that it can go in an isopropyl bath as soon as the stream's done. So I do actually need to go back over to the other workbench now to get screwdrivers. I'm kind of just waiting at this point for an order of pegboard accessories to show up on my doorstep that I ordered from Amazon. And then as soon as those are here, I'll be able to fully migrate the workbench over. But I'm not a normal user of Amazon. I usually try to buy local and stuff, but I had a gift card, so it's not coming prime or anything. It's just coming regular snail mail freight. So, yeah. Yeah, it's funny. They said the turbochargers were problematic and they didn't want to deal with track, and then it turned out that the SD38s that they got were fuel pigs, and they kept going through fuel, which is why they went to the GP38s now. And now the GP38s don't really have the horsepower or the tractive effort that they would prefer they have. Oh, that's a interesting coupler box situation. I don't want to come out for some reason. Why don't you want to come out? There we go. So I guess we'll see. The moral of that story is we'll see what happens as far as power on the Finger Lakes is concerned. I know I've got an empty little Ziploc baggie here somewhere. Yeah, I got it. I had to start a new project because I have 2 empty project bins right now. I've got 6 project bins and 2 of them are empty. We can't have that. That's just unacceptable. This is my old crusty locomotive cradle too, because my other one's is still over there at the old workbench. All right. First time looking in this thing. Oh, that's interesting. It's got pads to run up to the light in here. That's cool. Yeah, we will. Let me get. Actually, let's see if we can spin these and see if they're all moving okay, or if I need to get a new axle. They're all spinning a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know that necessarily means they're in good shape, technically. All right, here's a brand new empty basket to start using for this project. I'll put the chassis in there now. It's 3 too many. Never saw the 38s. I never saw the 38s or the SD45 car bodies that I model either. I wish I would have been able to, but just, wouldn't have worked out for me. All right, so let's see what else we got to do to keep dismantling the shell. Hopefully it all comes out cleanly. I don't know if other people feel comfortable using their hands for handrail removal. Sometimes, depending on the handrail, I feel more comfortable using my hands than I do an X-Acto or anything like that. Yeah, super excited for this project. I may need to, well, I know I'm going to need to do a little bit. Oh, that's all one piece. That's interesting. Huh. It's all one single piece of, oh, I'm not even on frame. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this is all one single molded handrail and coupler cut lever at the same time. You know, I don't know what my fascination was with these. I mean, anything ex-Lehigh Valley, I'm immediately interested in just because I'm a big fan of the Valley. But let's see. I got a pair of needle nose over here. I could probably get away with using. But I did see a video the other day about the ones on the Reading Blue Mountain and Northern. Oh, that broke. Dang it. And just kind of was like, how could I fit one of those into my freelance story? And well, in Batavia I can fit it in. Batavia is the part of the freelance that's already built, and right now the real prototype runs an Alco S6 through town, which I'm still begging somebody to produce an Alco S6 in plastic. There's never been one made. So I'm still begging, Rapido specifically, because the new S13s are not a whole heck of a far ways off from the S6s. Really hoping that they'll make the S6 next. That would be really cool, because I still want to have the prototype locomotive for the Fremo modules as well. But this is going to be kind of what the Freelance got instead of that S6. They will have gotten this ex-Conrail, ex-Lehigh Valley SW8 for switching duties in Batavia, and it'll be the workhorse. Interesting part about this, though, and I need to figure out what I can do about it. It does have the friction bearing trucks. So I'm going to have to figure out if I can get side frames for it that have roller bearings. I seem to remember that I could find those somewhere, but we'll see. I'll figure something out. I definitely don't want it to be rolling around on the friction bearing trucks, especially because there's a chance that this unit would be used on more than just the Batavia local. There's always a chance it would have ended up on the Attica turn for the Freelance as well. So, oh yeah, if I end up needing those, John, I'll let you know. Maybe they can get sent up with a certain set of trow hatches when you've got time to finish that project up. I know you're busy right now, though, so no worries. Oh my God, you guys got to yell at me when I'm working off camera like this again. I think I maybe need to just change the angle of this a little bit. Ooh. I have a tendency to work at the edge of my mat, noticed. Oh, but it's not. Why are you not? You just tighten that up, but it doesn't want to stay tight. Sorry, guys. As I'm learning more about this new setup, okay, what just happened? Why does it doesn't even want to stay tight anymore? I'm sorry, guys. Oh dear. Top tier production quality, yeah, that's for sure. Oh boy. we can make that work, I think. Okay. What was I even talking about? Now I don't even know. All right, let me put my handrails away in here. Yeah, this should be a fun project. Still got a ways to go before you know, any of these will be finished other than the 40-2s. Like I said, goal for those, have them done by the RPM in January. The GP9 in this pup probably, I'll probably, you know, do a lot of the cosmetic work, but, you know, decoders are not cheap and costs add up, especially when you just built a whole new workbench and everything. So, it'll likely be just a little bit before this sees completion. Oh, I wasn't even done. The waves are getting tall. Well, hopefully we're through the worst of the storm. Okay. Well, I've got this other. The handrails are kind of part of what drew me to this. You know, it's such a funky orientation of handrails that are kind of feel like they're from a bygone era of railroading. Like, there was a lot of units like this in the transition era that just had funky handrail orientations that weren't like just down the side of the locomotive. And it's cool that there's still some like that in operation, like the ones on the Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern. And I just kind of wanted that sort of feel, at least for my Batavia local, and maybe on the Attica turn for every once in a while. Okay, handrails are all off. I'm going to try leaving these grab irons on. I don't think that those really are going to need to come off for anything that I'm doing. One of the things I do need to do, and actually I've got my decal Ziploc bag over here. I need to figure out if the GWT, oh yeah, we're going to need to do some adjusting of the GWT stuff to make it fit. Oh, this is an old set. Hang on, let me see. Because this is the set that didn't actually even fit on the GP30. It's still not quite going to fit. We're going to have to figure out something a little bit smaller even, I think, when it comes time to decal this one. Or maybe, no. I was going to say maybe I'd do a Lehigh Valley Heritage scheme, but nope. I don't know that I have it in me to spray Cornell red again. That is the hardest color out there to get to lay well on a locomotive. Just seeing if there's... Well, I've got to be able to get the cab off. Just to get the glass out in order to paint. Can't quite see how it's on here without getting the sill off, though. The sill's making me a little nervous. I can see that there's a little bit of glue that's been used. Yeah, so I used the KV grills on that GP9 build that I just finished up. I don't know. I might, maybe I'll do more etched metal detail parts on this. We'll see. I don't know if I'm getting this sill off of here. This may not be a... See, I got that one loose, but literally none of these other ones are at this point. Maybe once I get it in an isopropyl soak, some of that glue will loosen up too. We'll have to see. We will have to see, because I really don't want to risk breaking any of this. So maybe we'll set that off to the side and not worry about it for now. So what's everybody else working on? I know John's busy studying, and Garrett's probably just trying to relax after a hectic day of 1,700 people coming through the show that he's helping run. See if we're looking like we're in good enough shape to get the last... Boy, that is a lot of excess glue. Yikes. I'm going to be busy with Goo Gone on this because I'm an idiot. Yeah, so we should at least be able to get the last one of these on. Oh man, Josh is working on his freelance paint scheme. That's exciting. Mitch was earlier, his Blacklick Valley, which is looking pretty dang cool. He was hanging out in the voice chat of my Discord server working on that, and looking like a seasoned graphic design pro the way he was whipping through things. Now, let's see if we can get just a little teeny bit of glue on there. Yeah, Josh picked up a bunch of cars for his freelance venture, which is looking more and more exciting. Can't wait to see that come to fruition for him. Although as we were talking about Mitch's scheme earlier in the voice chat, he was throwing out Kodak Park locomotives, and man, the Kodak Park Railroad is just such a cool railroad, and I wish there was more opportunity to model that. Where is this piece supposed to be? Because I don't see that I've really got a place. Oh, up here? Is that where it goes? Yes, that's where it goes. Okay. So I can get those in now. That's cool, Garrett. I didn't actually get over to the layout. I didn't think about it. Kind of forgot. Dang. Fremo, the Kodak Park? I don't know, man. That's a very complicated web of track. I would definitely love to see somebody model that at some point, though. Hopefully we're going to have somebody at the National Convention when it's here in Rochester doing a presentation on that, just because it is, you know, such a unique piece of Rochester history. Kodak Park Railroad being the railroad that serviced all of Kodak. The whole Kodak plant was served by that railroad. There was owned by Kodak for a very long time, and then recently Genesee, Wyoming has been doing the contract switching services for them. But they had some pretty cool locomotives. They had one that was painted like a roll of film, which was pretty cool. And then, you know, some miscellaneous other ones that were also pretty neat. Hey, Milwaukee area rail fan, welcome in. We could do it easy, yeah. Where have I heard that one before, Garrett? Shifted the piece of etch while I was trying to get the clamp on. Maybe. See if I got room for this one on. Yeah, we're also getting, you know, time is marching on and we are getting closer and closer to Springfield as well. And really looking forward to that as long as I'm able to go. Hopefully I am. I've got everything booked and I'm very firmly committed to being there at this point. I've just got a doggo that's not in the best of health that I'm hoping is either still healthy enough for me to go at that point or, you know, unfortunately the other way. But as long as everything works out, I'll be there. Work in the NMRA booth. I'm also... I cannot get this thing to stay put for me to save my life. Yeah. I'm also going to be shooting a layout tour of Mark Herrick's BNSF Marias Pass layout while I'm out there, which should be pretty cool for NERX. And yeah, work in the NMRA booth. And then also the T-Track layout will... The Northeast area T-Track layout will also have my module added as part of the Upload Express modelers, which is pretty cool. I know Sean's out there in the chat tonight. I'm sure he's excited to see our finished Klondike modules all at the show. Well, I don't think Sean will be there, but he'll be excited to see all of the Klondike modules that were there. He'll also probably be happy to know that that all the ones from the RIT build that he helped us with were all proudly on display today at the RIT show. Some of those guys have already pretty much finished their modules, which is pretty incredible. You know, already got scenery on them and everything. You know, there's a few of them that are in various states of completion. Some of the guys are doing some really incredibly detailed stuff, which should be pretty cool. They kind of banded together and built their modules into, you know, a little switching area, which is really cool. But they're doing some incredibly detailed work with it. They're like insetting the track into foam so that the profile of the roadbed is a little bit more shallow, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So Mitch, kinda, it's still open to join. You're more than welcome to join it in general, but the T-Track build itself is for Springfield this year, and I think the call for modules for the Northeast T-Track already went out, which means that we wouldn't be able to add another module to the Upload Express side, but yeah. Okay, I think I'm all set here. One of the other projects I said, like I said, is going to be working on some wire form trees tonight. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. I've got everything I need for it right here, so that's pretty cool. A Japanese soy sauce plant. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so these wireform trees, I'm actually I'm going to set one or two of them off to the side because I actually need to do a couple of these separately and take photographs of them as I'm building them, because they're going to be part of my clinic for the RPM on wireform trees. So I've got to remember to do that. The rest of these are ready for a layer of modeling paste. They've got a couple layers of Mod Podge already on them, and we're looking to start building out the trunk structure and the branches themselves. So they are pretty much ready for the modeling paste side of things, which just helps me thicken out the trunks a bit to kind of look a little bit more realistic. The T-Track modules, I mean, they might, just not under the flag of Upload Express modelers. Yeah, Upload Express modelers, you know, the whole idea of that isn't necessarily even to... The whole goal wasn't to do them for Springfield. It was just kind of supposed to be a cherry on the top sort of thing. Where, you know, that was where we displayed the finished product, that we showed how easy it was to get into T-Track and how easy it was to get into the hobby of model railroading. And you know, did that on camera. That is the main goal of Upload Express modelers. But yeah, getting the modules together as a group is not likely to happen anywhere else, just because, you know, the people building them are kind of spread throughout the Northeast a little bit. Didn't end up really getting any participation from people out west, for the most part, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the participation in that was not as good as I would have hoped it would be. You know, it's such a cool and worthy cause. You know, trying to inspire people to model, but didn't get a ton of participation. Some people had to back out. You know, they had too busy a schedule, which is certainly understandable. I appreciate them, you know, even being interested in the project to begin with, though. Oh, nice. That's fun, Garrett. What could go wrong? That's a bummer that they have the wrong fuel tank. So with this modeling paste, I'm really just trying to get like the overall like trunk and beginning of all the branch structure covered. I'm not looking to bring the modeling paste all the way up the tree. Just kind of, you know, anything that should look like it's sturdy is what I'm trying to get a layer of this on. And then I'll likely do a couple of layers, because you can see this is still not actually, you know, thickened up much at all. Oh man, Garrett, I'm sorry that they're not as well ready for this project as I would have advertised to you. I like being a poor influence, but you know, I like being a poor influence for you know, realistic projects, not wild goose chases. So Garrett also got a snowplow at the show, which is exciting. Finger Lakes has a snowplow. I don't even know if it's stored serviceable. It's on the deadline. I don't know that it's come out in a couple of decades, but they have it. So Garrett's modeling it, which is pretty cool. Oh, see, Garrett, you should have gotten another one then. The guy Garrett bought them from had 4 of them total. Went over, bought one, and then I don't know if he had the same thought I did. He was talking to the guy, and I kind of looked down and saw what I thought was his locomotive, and then realized his locomotive was sat in another area, the one he had already bought, and that there was a whole nother GP38 on deck just sitting right there. The guy had 2 and he didn't even know it. So Garrett bought those 2, and then all of a sudden Garrett's buddy from the club comes walking up, is like, yeah, that guy's got 2 more. So he had a whole bunch of Atlas on decks. These ones are old yellow box Atlas with the Kato drives. All the number boards are messed up. Oh, sweet. Man, Garrett is well on his way to modeling the full GP38 roster for the Finger Lakes. That's exciting. Oh no, Garrett. Just another young person actually doing some modeling. That's all. This is one of the larger of the trees I'm working on tonight, and definitely is looking more like a feature tree. The intent for these, I think, is going to be to it's probably going to be to have them on my Fremo modules when I finally start doing scenery on those, which I'd like to get a little bit done before the RPM, but I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. But The exciting part for those who tuned into last week's stream, or I guess technically this past Monday's stream, not necessarily last week yet. Exciting part about this workbench move is that there's going to be more space on that wall, and I'm not entirely sure what the main layout's doing yet, but for the time being, I at least am going to have space to set up the Fremo modules and leave them set up so that I can work on them, you know, as my heart desires to. They're currently folded up and sat on a pallet so that they're slightly off the basement ground right behind me. But I'll be excited to have a permanent place to put those up and work on things for sure. I would really like to, like, at least at bare minimum have some ground foam and ballast down on them before the RPM, but we'll see. Trying to make sure I leave this mostly smoothed out, because it does get to be a pain to clean up after the fact when you need to. These upper branch structures I don't need to stress about too much. They're going to end up covered in super tree material, and you're not really going to see much of them. But okay. The lower ones you're going to see a little bit easier, but yeah, the whole idea for me with the Fremo modules is I want these wireform trees because they should be a little bit more durable than your, you know, run-of-the-mill super tree, and they're of course going to have to be durable. There won't be a ton of trees on the modules, but the ones that are, I want to be able to take at least a small beating. Excuse me. Okay. Happy with that one. That's good. Why is it that that'll be easy? That's cool. I think Canon and Company actually specifically made a cab interior for these Atlas yellow box units, so might be something to look into. I know Brian at Mountain Subs got them, I think. kind of a nice little smaller tree here. Cool. I bet you they really wouldn't be that hard to remove, though, Garrett. Take one of those Atlas saws to them. They'll probably cut off pretty flush. Or just cut them off proud and sand them down. Okay. Well, that's a lot of what I had planned for tonight. So let's see what else we can even get into trouble with here. Kind of blew through all the work I had planned there. Oh, I do still have... Oh, I've got 2 more trees. Whoops. My bad. Hey, that sounds like fun. I'm happy to help with that. We'll give our buddy Chris some business over at Wallace Locomotive Works, I'm sure. Oh, I can introduce you to him at Springfield, Garrett. There we go. Let's try to have your game plan set by then, and I'll introduce you to him at Springfield, and then he's bringing a good amount of his inventory there. So hopefully we can find some better Atlas wheel sets for you. I don't know that I have any spares now. I took those spares for the Jeep, so hopefully, yeah. I don't think, like I said, don't think I have any, but I don't imagine they'd be very hard to find. Welcome to my world, Adam, where it takes 20 minutes to do anything because you can't remember where you put something. Yeah, looking forward to getting the pegboard accessories in here so that I can get fully moved over to this workbench, because I'm ready to get back to the backdrop project on the main layout, because I do need to have that. You know, I don't necessarily need to have the new backdrops up by February. I'd like to. I don't know if that's a realistic possibility. We'll see. I'd at least like to have the ones in Geneva up. I never had backdrops up on the Canandaigua Peninsula to begin with, so it's not really any loss there, but I do need to make a decision about what I'm doing with the rest of the exterior going east out of Geneva, though, before I can do everything. Because part of that decision-making process involves, you know, a possibility of a little bit of track expansion, or at least modification. I realized that at bare minimum, without a workbench on the side of Auburn, I could at least change the track arrangement so that it matches the prototype a little bit better and put new core kind of on the side of the tracks it would technically belong on and stuff, which should be cool, but yeah. Hopefully I've got enough pegboard accessories of different sorts coming to, you know, populate this workbench properly. I guess we'll have to see. It's like a 250 piece set that I got, but it includes like these additional pegs to secure certain pegs in and like distribute load. So I don't know that I would really count those as, you know, they're individual pegs, but they're in there. So this tree is so tiny. I used a much thinner wire for it. It may end up being that it really didn't need a lot of the modeling paste that's up on the top parts of this. There we go, that's better. Cool. Never unpacked from the show. Oh man, must not have bought too much then, Adam. Did you stay responsible? Okay, let's see. Not entirely sure what more I can work on tonight. Give you guys a sneak peek at the T-Track module. Do that at least. That'll be cool. I'll just make a little bit of room over here quick. You know, it's funny, I thought 12 feet of space was going to be more than enough, and it should be, quite frankly. But I've already got so much stuff over here that it's not feeling like enough. But that's just, you know, me needing to be better at staying organized. And that's already well established. Other news, though, I found a good deal on monitors to put up back down here. So that hopefully I'll be able to utilize that sort of setup and have the prototype reference images and stuff I was talking about. We'll see when that happens. It's, you know, the big thing is this workbench was not cheap, so I've got to pace myself a little bit as far as all of the stuff I'm buying, especially in the holiday season like this. You got Christmas presents to buy and stuff too, so need to make sure people don't get disappointed Christmas morning. Nice blank wall. So this is the other primary focus that I've got to make sure I have over the next couple of weeks. The T-Track module, which of course now we're too far down to look at it. So let's see if I can just get away with moving that a little bit. Looks like I can. Hey Joey, welcome in. Yeah, so this is it. I think I need to adjust the exposure still a little bit on the camera. It's still completely blown out. Crazy. But yeah, I've been working on bringing the profile near the road that's crossing the tracks up a little bit, just because it was such a sharp decline, and it's kind of, there's ditches next to the road that are pretty deep because it's on a hill, and then there's a field right here. So the field will come after I've got the roadway all situated. Grade crossings kind of started in. There's still a little bit of softness in the deeper patches of the spackle, so I can't sand it just yet, but some pretty exciting stuff. I'm happy to be progressing on this for sure. I'll be doing the hay field pretty much like the I've got on the main layout in this sort of area, and then there's just like a little tree line along the road and on this side of the tracks as well that I'm hoping to be able to replicate a little bit. We'll see. I'm not sure. New workbench is working out good though, Joey. So far, I'm really excited about it, and you know, got some growing pains. Like, you know, for some reason, this white is very blown out. The new workbench is so much lighter than the old one that it's kind of, see, how's that any better? Yeah, you can actually see a shadow now. But the new workbench is so much lighter than the old one that I put up the camera over here this afternoon, and everything was incredibly overexposed because it retained the settings from what it had, you know, over on the old workbench. And, you know, the settings that I had did a fine job of, you know, working with the amount of light over there, but I didn't realize how much more light I had over here compared to that old workbench. So it's pretty exciting. I'm glad to have that sort of situation taken care of as far as having really good light on the workbench. I can already tell it's going to be very valuable for sure. Man, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I didn't think that we were gonna blow through that work as quickly as we did. Oh, here's something else I can work on. This won't take me a super long time. I haven't shown this project on stream at all before, but I don't mind sharing it on stream. It's just something I've been working on for a friend of mine. Just wanted DCC and ditch lights installed in a locomotive. I gotta clean up this mat real quick. But anyway, this locomotive I've been working on is yet another Elco that I'm doing a DCC and sound install in. I've got the DCC and sound install done. I just had to wait for him to get me number boards. The shell he sent my way was missing them. So this is a custom paint job. It is not my custom paint job, to be clear. But this is a MAN locomotive that I've been working on for my friend Joe. And when I got it, again, not my paint work, but when I got it, I noticed all of the number boards and everything were completely missing out of it. So I am now going back through and putting in number boards for him. And Probably doing the actual numbers on them. But I can, that's something that we can likely do here on stream without too much of a problem. Oh look, Dennis is here. Hey Dennis. Hope you're doing well, my friend. All right, so let's pull the cab off of this. This is just a spare shell he sent my way that's got the number board light bars in it, which is what we need. So. Oh, cool. I hope your Christmas excursions went well over there, Dennis. Oh, Dennis, there's an exciting new locomotive that's mine on this workbench right now, too. I'll wait for you to pick it out. This one is not mine. But we worked on it a little bit on stream. Wow, this light bar does not want to come out of here. I might need to get a flathead screwdriver on it. But yeah, this is the new locomotive for the freelance. It's gonna go in an isopropyl bath as soon as we're done. EMD SW8. This will be my new local switcher for the Batavia local, which will be pretty cool. Let's see if I can get these out of here or not. Yeah, pretty excited about it. I'm gonna have to redo the decal sheets that I have though, because the lettering is too long for the long hood on these things. So. Those do not want to cooperate. I wonder if I got to take the windows out before I can get those in. I don't remember having to do that, but of course it'll be Circus certified, Joey. Absolutely. There we go. Just took a little bit of peer pressure. Yeah, Dennis, I was also talking about the GP9 project. You can see this. I to start the stream. Oh, actually, I'm a little out of center here now. To start the stream, I was talking about all the pending freelance projects. So I got the GP9 here. Dennis and I have been chatting about some possible fun GP9 stuff online a little bit as well. He's got a GP9 RM build that he's doing, and could be some fun chances to coordinate a little bit more on that front. So you'll have to keep your eyes out for more information on that. I'm kind of following Dennis's lead on that one. We have been scheming. Okay, will you slide in there now, please? Come on. At least I think that's the right one. Should be. Yeah. Yeah? Yes. It's finally Dennis's turn to be the bad influence. Yep. I don't know if Garrett's still in here, Dennis, but I was a very bad influence on Garrett today, which is pretty exciting. he's now got 2 out of the 4 locomotives necessary to do the Finger Lakes GP38 roster. And then he said tomorrow he's going back to get the 3rd of the 4 that he needs, which should be pretty cool. There we go. Finally snapped down into place. And yeah, once this is done, I'll end up wrapping up. Hopefully Ted's still streaming. I feel bad that I forgot he moved his up to 8 o'clock on Saturdays now. So I'm going to get this wrapped up and send you guys over there. Good. All right. That's got to go in a little further, and it's not. Come on. Reminding you of the way, yeah. Come on. Doesn't quite want to go in there. There's not any differences in the tooling here, is there? Oh, there actually is. Interesting. That's so annoying. The front ones worked. They don't quite line up. You gotta be kidding me. Ugh. That's so annoying. So annoying. Yeah, I'll have to talk to Joe about it. But anyway, guys, we think we've reached the end of our stream. So Ted, who was in here earlier, his username, or maybe Dennis or Garrett could grab the link for us. But Ted should be live over on his channel. He's Teddy Chef D. He does a great weathering stream every Saturday night. So be sure to go tune in over there. I'll be over there in a little bit here myself. And I appreciate you tuning in to my special stream here tonight on Saturday, since I can't go on Monday night. Be sure, if Dennis goes on Monday night, which he may not be as well, because he's in the middle of moving, but be sure to tune in to him if he does end up going. So anyway, guys, thanks so much. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.